In today's micro lesson, we'll be focusing on the circulatory system. So the kids have already come in, we've actually discussed today's lesson plan, and we'll also discuss what they should learn by the end of the lesson. Once the micro lesson's over, the kids are going to have an opportunity to watch a short animation, and that actually will help reinforce what I've been speaking about the circulatory system and how the heart and the blood flows, to help them visualise it, because it's quite a complex topic. Once we've done that, the kids are going to have an opportunity to then have a little bit of an investigation about the heart rate. And if time permits, the kids will then be able to have an opportunity to see a real life pig's heart to give them a little bit of a real life link to what we've been talking about today. Okay, so guys, today we learned about the circulatory system, as you know. I want to give you guys all 2 minutes each to discuss with your neighbour what you think the circulatory system is. Discuss what's involved, what does it do, anything really you think you could talk about with your neighbour about the circulatory system. Okay, so you have 2 minutes and then we're going to discuss it as a class. Okay, so 2 minutes up. Does anyone want to share? Yep. Yes. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So the circulatory system is all about transporting things around the body using your blood. So it transports things like oxygen, like you said, transports carbon dioxide and other waste, nutrients, hormones, and even bacteria. So it transports all kinds of things around the body. So here I've written up a quick overview, which I suggest you guys quickly jot down about the circulatory systems that will be useful. So already we've discussed what it is. So you've got transports oxygen, carbon dioxide, nutrients, waste, bacteria, hormones around the body. 3 parts that compose the circulatory system. The first one is the blood, and the blood is made up of red and white blood cells as well as plasma and a few other things. Just stick it with those ones. Blood vessels, they're made up of arteries, veins and capillaries. Now the arteries and veins, they're actually the bigger blood vessels, and the capillaries are very fine, which allow gas exchange. So if you're imagining yourself being in a car and you were like the red blood vessel, the arteries and the veins are sort of like the highways and the freeways, whereas the capillaries are actually like the residential streets. So you're not going to be helping people get in and out of your car when you're in the middle of the freeway. You're going to do that when you're on the residential streets, and that's the same as the circulatory system. Now arteries, they usually commonly explained by being the oxygenated blood that travels through them, but that's not always the case. So the best way to remember arteries is that they travel away from the heart. Remember the away from the heart, and veins, they travel back to the heart. Okay, so it's not always the case that arteries is oxygenated and veins are deoxygenated, even though that is mostly true, sometimes it's not. And then obviously capillaries and everything. So the final thing, heart. Okay, so the heart is the pump. Okay, so why do you think the heart is so important if it's the pump? Yeah? Exactly, yeah. So if you didn't have a pump, the blood wouldn't be able to pump around your body, move around your body. You know, gravity would just take hold and the blood would just sink to your feet and it wouldn't be able to move around. The heart does all the work and it pumps and it pushes the blood around your body and it makes it keep going around and around. If you didn't, you wouldn't be able to survive. So that's why the heart is so important. So well done. Now, the circulatory system, final thing, 2 circuits. First circuit is the systemic circuit, and that involves the blood that goes from your heart to your body and then back to your heart. The pulmonary circuit involves the blood that goes from your heart to your lungs and then back to your heart again. So it's just doing like a little circuit. So on the systemic, you've got oxygenated blood that's just come from the lungs, and now it's in the heart. It gets a big push, goes around the body, it gives off its oxygen, whatever else it's carrying, and then it will return back to the heart and then be regenerated again. Whereas in the pulmonary section, it just goes from the heart straight to the lungs and then comes back again. And that's in that process, it's actually picking up oxygen. So the other one's giving it off, the other one's picking it up. And that's how it starts. So it's a lot of information taking, I know, but we're going to understand the circulatory system. You have to understand how the blood flows through the heart, because the heart really is the centre of the whole thing. So here I've drawn a diagram for you of the heart. Now I'm not an artist, so forgive me if it's a bit wonky, which is why I've actually gone to the liberty of getting you guys printed off colour-coded heart labels on it, and that's actually in your worksheet and little pamphlets that you guys have got there on your desks. So you guys can actually follow along looking at this if you'd like, because it'd be probably a lot easier. Now I'm going to go up on here so it's a bit bigger for you to see. Put that down. So firstly you've got the blood that's flowing around your body, and here's your heart. Your heart's got two sides of the heart, right and the left, and each is made up of two chambers, atrium, ventricle, and ventricle. Okay. Now this is the right side and this is the left side. Now you guys are probably thinking, no, that's the left side. No. Remember, you just sort of have to go, oh yeah, that is the right side, that is the left side. So remember, this is the patient's heart. It's not when you're looking at it like this. It's like this. Okay? So the right side. So you've got your right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. Okay, so the blood's pumping around your body, it runs out of oxygen. Okay, so it's giving it all off. It's got to come back. And it's going to come back if it's on the above your heart or your upper body through the supravena cava. And if it's coming from your lower body, it's going to come from the inferior vena cava. So they're going to both come up, and which is why on your diagram is blue, because that represents deoxygenated blood. They're both travelling up, and they're going to fill this right atrium first. Once the right atrium is full, the heart's going to contract. It's going to push, and you're just going to squeeze the blood, forcing these two valves here to open, which are the tricuspid valves. They're going to open, and the blood is going to flow into the right ventricle. As soon as it goes into the right ventricle, this valve that opened before is now slamming shut, so that it prevents any backflow. And at the same time it's contracting, it'll make this valve here, which is the pulmonary valve, open. All the blood in this ventricle is pushed into the pulmonary arteries, and they actually go out to lungs. So if you imagine here, this is a lung, this is a lung, okay? It's gone out to the lungs each, and now it's picking up oxygen, and it's probably also dropping off CO2. So it's getting rid of the CO2 it's picked up in the body. It's gone into them. Now it's gone in, it's dropped off the CO2, picked up its oxygen, is now going to come back through the pulmonary veins. So this is a situation where the veins are carrying oxygenated blood. It's coming through the pulmonary veins, and it's going to enter into the left atrium. Once the left atrium is full, it's then going to contract and push, forces the mitral valve to open up, and forms into the left ventricle. Now the left ventricle is actually the most muscular chamber, because it's got to push the blood furthest away. So it gives a big push, forces the aortic valve to open, and obviously this one is slammed shut to prevent black flow. All the blood's going into the aorta, which is a huge muscle. And then from the aorta, it all branches out into all different types of blood vessels to travel the oxygenated blood around the body. And as well as picking up oxygen, dropping off oxygen, it's picking up things like CO2, so it's picking up nutrients, picking up hormones, and dropping them off wherever it's required. So it's gone out, okay? Once it's done all that, it's become deoxygenated again. It'll then return and complete the cycle by going back in through those vena cavas. Okay? So the systemic circuit, which we discussed, which is the body to the heart, involves the aorta letting the blood go to the head or whatever, and then coming back through the vena cavas. That's the systemic. The pulmonary involves going out through the pulmonary arteries to the lungs and back through the pulmonary veins. Okay, so they're the two circuits. Now these opening and shutting of the valves are actually what make the noise that the heart makes. It is the shutting of the valves. Now some people might think it's the contracting of muscles, but I want you all to do this is, I want you to squeeze your muscle near your ear. Go, do it. You don't hear anything, do you? All you hear is your shirt move. Okay? It's not the pushing or the contracting of the heart, it's actually the slamming shut and opening of those valves, making the noise. Okay? And this will continue, so it's like a cycle. It's going to go in and out, you know, how I would do this with my hands, and continue all the time, no matter what you're doing. Now, it's really complex, you know, thinking about that. And it's really hard when you're not actually seeing it visually moving and around. So what I've found for you guys is a quick animation. It's about 6 minutes, and you guys are going to be able to watch that, and it'll clarify the whole circulatory system for you. So I found it really good, and it will really just help understand it better, because I know sometimes that makes it easier. So we'll watch that, but before we do that, I do have this one here. Okay, to help you guys look. Just a quick one. So you can see here, you see the blood's coming through the vena cavas, and it's filling the right atrium. It's coming both from the inferior and the superior. It's filling the right atrium. Once the right atrium becomes full, the heart is going to contract and push, it's now got to open the tricuspid valves, like we said. It's opening them, the blood flows in to the right ventricle. Once it's into the right ventricle, that valve then slams shut, like we said. The heart then contracts again, forcing the pulmonary valve to open and allow the blood to flow through the pulmonary arteries into the lungs. So you can see it's going up. Once it goes up, it closes shut, preventing black flow, and it's going to go out to the lungs. Now once it goes to the lungs, it's picking up its oxygen, dropping off its carbon dioxide, like we said. It's coming back, and it's going to return, it's going to go back to the left atrium. Oxygenated, heart contracts, forces the valve to open. The blood that's now oxygenated now goes into the left ventricle. The left ventricle then has to push really hard to get it around the rest of the body. It's going to squeeze and push, mitral valve will close. The aortic valve is going to open. So it's closed there, forcing this to open. It's contracted, and it's going to go through the aorta, and it's going to go to the rest of the body. So let you go. Yep. And see, and out it goes. Now you'll see here, it's going to show you, it's like a cycle, it's going to continue to go. Where? Closed. And so now it's going to show you how it just continuously keeps going. So it's in, and it's going to go back out. In through the right side, and out through the pulmonary, and then in through the right side, and out through the aorta. And it continually goes up there. So that's just, I'll be able to have a little view of that without just looking at the whiteboard. Okay, so now I've given you guys all worksheets which have got answers on, questions on them that I want you guys to answer while you're watching. The next clip goes about 6 minutes, okay? Once you guys have filmed that out, we're going to go through the answers. There's quite a few you could already answer already because I've already gone through them. Once we've done that, we're then going to do a quick investigation about the heart rate. And once we've done that, I know you guys are all staring at the pig heart. We're all going to go and gather around the pig heart and have a bit of a look, see if we can locate where the atriums are and the ventricles, and have a look, see, and you guys need to have a bit of a touch, okay? So, you guys just get ready and I'll load this new video for you, okay?